Today, in this month of July, we're actually celebrating, heroes who we see fit in the eyes of all our audiences. Hey everyone, this is Zef Zan, and you're watching Zef Zan TV, the show that brings you a dash of passion to the perfect blend of ingredients for success in business and in life. Celebrating heroes this month at Zef Zan TV. Heroes in our eyes are ordinary people doing extraordinary stuff. No, not really, but daily heroes that go through life, overcoming challenges. They're our heroes. Of course, Zef Zan TV celebrates business owners, small businesses, entrepreneurs. So we're talking to, individuals who are business owners and have overcome challenges. And to us, they are our heroes. So today we actually have Sarah Bailey, a good old friend of mine. We met at a business networking event, right? Mm-hmm. And she's got a great story to tell and share with us today, because I know maybe one or two of you out there will be inspired by her story. So thank you for joining us, Sarah. It's a pleasure
Thank
to
you
have
for having
you
me.
at Zest TV, because I know recently you've got a great story to tell. You being a business owner, and this month, as we celebrate heroes, I just thought that your story was fitting for our episode for Zest TV.
Thank you for having me here today, Zef. My name is Sarah Bailey. I don't necessarily feel like a hero, but
You are to us.
I am an entrepreneur. My background is in nutrition. I've been a dietitian for 20 years, but found myself in a place where I didn't want to go work for anybody anymore. So now I'm a business owner. I teach people how to make money from home, is what I do now. My background starts out in nutrition. I worked as a dietitian in big teaching hospitals in the country, and then I also worked in nursing home and home care, home infusion, and I ended up working for Nestle, the big chocolate company. Yeah, exactly. They have a medical division, so I was a clinical nutrition specialist in their medical division. Traveled around the country. I gave lectures and spoke and developed programs for the company. I loved what I did, but then it was time for us to have a family, and we adopted 2 little baby boys, and I found myself at home, and I really wanted to be home with them, and so I quit my work to stay home with them, and was doing baby bottles and all that stuff instead of
exciting new stuff.
Yeah, and diapers. I mean, it was just bad. But wouldn't trade it for anything. But after 8 or 9 years, it was the market crashed. My husband's salary went down too. We found ourselves in a place. It'd be nice to have that extra income coming in. But when I thought about my little babies, who are now 8 and 9, I'm like, I didn't want to go work for anybody else. I didn't want to report to a boss and have to ask permission to stay home with my kids if they were sick, if they're hurting, if they had a school project or a play or a sporting event. I want to be there for my kids at the drop of a hat. And the only way I can do that is if I work for myself. And that's how I got to be working from home and starting home business.
Recently gone through this condition, which is a challenge pretty much for anybody. It would be a trauma for some people. But what I liked about your story was, because I know we're friends on Facebook, right? I'm seeing her posting daily, sharing her journey, her challenges. And believe it or not, folks, if you tell your story to people who support you and love you, it becomes your power. It becomes something that you actually it becomes your strength, really, right? Because you have the people that love you and support you, and when you share that journey with them, they become your pillars.
And people you don't even know.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of it.
Right.
So I know, maybe tell us a little bit more about, what the condition was, and then how you overcame it, because she did overcome it. And it's all the love and support that she's had. This is why we wanted her to come in and share with you her story, because I know as small business owners we go through challenges in our lives, but you hardly anticipate this, and when you get this challenge, how do you overcome it? Because I know you've got some great story and tips how you actually took that negative and make it a positive, and that's how you recovered.
Exactly.
So share with us a little bit that story.
It all comes down to mindset, really, is how we overcome anything. And the lesson for all of you, and hopefully a couple of you will get something out of this. It's not necessarily my story, but maybe something I learned is going to help you overcome challenges that you face. And we got to stop making excuses why we can't do something because something gets in the way. And for me, what happened last fall, I had a lump in my neck, and they said there was nothing, and that they did biopsies, everything was fine. They did MRIs and CAT scans, X-rays, everything, and they said, okay, it looks fine, it's normal, it's just a cyst in your neck. We'll go take it out so it doesn't get infected. So in the operating room, they come out, and they're in the operating room, and they found a tumor there, and I wasn't obviously expecting that.
Nobody is.
Right.
Nobody
so
would.
They did a much more in-depth surgery, and then in recovery room is when they told me that it was cancer. And I got a little tearful at first, and then I thought, you know what? I claim healing. I just felt what I wanted to be. You say focus on what you want. That's whatever you focus on is what you're going to get. Whether
Absolutely.
you focus on something good or focus on something bad, that's what you're going to get. So you focus on good health, you're going to get good health. You focus on negative things, like when people would come up to me and say, "Oh, Sarah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you're going through that." I'm like, "No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear the negativity.
See?
I just want to hear the positive. I want you to hear, Sarah, go crush that cancer, go stamp it out, go beat it, go,
And
conquer
you
it."
did
And
it
that's
so well on Facebook, and you had tons of
yes.
people say,
Well,
support, love you, go kill it,
I had
stuff
some
like
people
that.
like my mom and my husband were like, "Are you sure you want to post this on Facebook?" And I felt a calling. I don't know where everybody is in their faith, but I have a very strong faith, and God and Jesus is my Savior. So,
Right.
And I felt a prompting by God to be public on Facebook because He can use any channel He wants, right? So on Facebook, I just started telling my story about what I was going through and making myself vulnerable. And it's those times that you make yourself vulnerable that when you feel your weakest actually is when other people are going to see some strength in you, and they're going to identify with you and come alongside you. So every week I would post an update of how I was doing and what I was going through, but then I also posted something I learned about that week. So it never, like when you guys have challenges that come to you, and whether it's a health challenge, a family problem, an issue with your business, or whatever it is, don't ask yourself, why me? Like, why did this happen to me?
Very true.
Because why not?
Yep.
What makes you so
It can
special
happen to anybody.
that you should not have anything happen to you? So that's how I looked at it, and I thought, well, what can I learn from this experience? And that's how I went forward. And then the mindset is what was really key in overcoming that. With the treatments, I went through radiation treatments, but no chemo, because I refused to go through chemo. It wasn't going to help that much anyway, and there's a high success rate with just the radiation. So that's what I did.
So how long was this process, the duration, and how long did it take you to recover pretty much?
I'm still recovering.
Okay.
So surgery was December of 2012, December 3rd. I started radiation mid-January and went all the way through February with it. The most difficult time was probably throughout March.
Okay.
And I ended up with a feeding tube because I couldn't eat. I couldn't swallow my own saliva, so it got to be just a bad time. I did daily radiation for 6 weeks. And during that time, I still grew my business. I'd say my family and also the people that I was helping. I know that I'm called to do something more, and I look at cancer as just a blip in the road. It's something for me just to get through. I feel like, I have too many things to do on this earth that I cannot be stopped by something like cancer. Cancer is not going to identify me. It's not a death sentence for me. I'm finding a way around it. You can have any kind of obstacle. It could be a giant obstacle in the road that when you see it, whatever it is, family, business, cancer, health, whatever, and you get to this big thing and you think, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with it? And you could either pick up your ball and bat and turn around and cry and go home, or you could find a way around it or over it or grab the bull by the horns and plow through it. And that's what I did. So even though I had issues with eating and swallowing and talking, I had mouth sores in my mouth, but I found ways just to get my point across with fewer words and still talk to people. And I still enrolled a new business partner every week in my business, and I would talk to only 3 people a week. So I found ways to make it work.
Here's where I love your story, because you shared your journey with the people that cared about you. Sometimes, being in social media, we think, oh, is that too much information? But being in business, if you realize this, people support your story, your journey, and they become, better followers, better, business affiliates or friends. You build that relationship so well, and somehow they see your strength and who they want to do business with. Of course,
Exactly.
you know, at the end of the day. So
it's about people, and it's about branding yourself on Facebook. It's not throwing up about your business on Facebook. That's not going to help you grow your business. But I found that I had more followers and more people clicking like on my posts when I posted things about my journey and what I was going through. And people were thanking me for inspiring them along the way, but I felt so inspired by their encouragement that helped me power through, you know, what I was going through too. So I'm very thankful for the friends that I developed on Facebook.
You kept it real. That's important. So what would you say? I know you've actually inspired us with your story, right? Because it's really not easy being we're not going to sugarcoat it, because you and I know it's not easy to have your own business, because, you know, you have to do it all. You're the chief, you're the bottle washer, you're the cook, you know, you're the driver and all that stuff. You're still the CEO, right, of the company. But, you know, I think what really, really, you know, transpired me to get you on the show was pretty much based on that story, because I think our audience need to see that, because sometimes we, you know, we're just human beings, you know, we whine over the most little thing, you know, and here you are with this challenge, and if I'm not mistaken, your PET scan is clear.
It's clear.
CAT scan is clear.
Yeah, well, it is a PET scan.
Okay.
But yeah, the funny thing is, I would think most small business owners have to make phone calls of some sort to grow their business, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember a few years ago when I first started, that phone weighed like 800 pounds, right? And so now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, when I was going through the treatments, they strapped me down, they put this mesh thing over my face, and they locked my head down on a table, and I could barely breathe. I couldn't lick my lips. I couldn't flare my nostrils. I couldn't do anything. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know what? If you can't pick up the phone, like I'm not saying I went through. Yes, it's not. I'm not saying I went through anything heroic, but when you go through something that's more challenging, you think, oh my gosh, picking up the phone is like nothing. So where people complain about that stuff, really think about how good you really have it, how blessed you are to live in a country where you have the freedom to make those phone calls, that you can build any business that you want to build, and you can be an entrepreneur, whatever kind of small business you want to build, and your desire for your success and how wherever you want to go with your business has to be greater than any fears that you have. And if you let your fears get in the way, you're going to get to the end of your life and look back and say, oh my gosh, why did I let that thing get in the way?
Absolutely.
And one of my passions, which I think you might have been going to ask anyway, is about helping people overcome fears that they have so that they can have the success that they're looking for. Because I don't want anybody to get to the end of their life and look back and say, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have left my job and worked at home with my kids, I should have, you know, lived the life that I want to live. Reading books, listen to audios. Your car should be a university. A car is not the place to listen to music and whatever. You should use your car as a time to listen to audios by some great people who've gone before you in your line of work that have had the success that you want, so that you can follow in their footsteps, because success leaves clues. So pick up on those clues and do what successful people do. And one of the things successful people do is to listen to personal growth and development. So some of them might be like Anthony Robbins or Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy. There's so many out there. But as far as like personal coaching, yes, I've had a few coaches over the years. Two of them stand out in particular. One of them was so great. I mean, you may think you know what you're doing to grow your business, but it's good to have a second pair of eyes that is looking from the outside, who's maybe helped other people build successful businesses, and to partner up with them and let them show you the ropes. Because you could spend, you know, a few $100s on some coaching, or a couple $1,000s on some coaching, and even though that may seem like a lot of money to you now, it'll pay you back so much in the long run, because you might get, yes, you think of it as part of schooling. It's like going to college again, that when you spend that money, even if you get just a little tidbit here and there, like one little nugget, that can make the biggest difference in the success in your business.
Thank you so much, Sarah Bailey, for agreeing to do this with us today, because I truly feel that, as much as I can bring topics like this to help inspire our audience, whatever it is, and you're passionate about what you do, it's very important. And I tell people, if you have a passion, just go on with it, and then it doesn't have to be perfect. Find something that you probably will do that you're passionate about, and then, or if you don't have a passion, find one. And this way, you'll never know what your passion will lead you to. And
That's
it
right.
may be a business, it could be great opportunities. And you've just done that, taken your passion, and it has set you up for a great mindset. It has helped you overcome a challenge and
Right.
claim your independence. And
That's right.
and I hope this story inspires some of you who may have the same story, similar story. And we will also share Sarah's information with you, her business, and blog content below. And you can actually contact her if you just want to ask a little bit more about her story,
and that's
how,
fine.
and that's
Overcoming
great. She loves
challenges.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
Or
love
you
to help
can-
people. I have
you
a
can-
passion for that.
You can connect with her also on
Yes.
Facebook, and
That's right.
just see how she actually takes you on that journey and be personable. Even though you're a small business owner, it's always important to have that support system around you. It's very important to have people understand what you're going through, and I think that their love, the support, just gives you your strength. Right?
That's right.
Well, thank you, everyone. This has been a great episode so far, and I know, challenges are pretty much everywhere. You expect it or not, it's gonna happen.
When you don't expect
exactly, you
it.
least expect it. It's gonna happen. You can only plan so much, but hey, there's a higher power will just say, hey, today I'm gonna test you for this, and you'll just have to accept it with open arms. But are you prepared for that? Situation is a whole different ball game.
Well,
It's
yeah,
all
and you
about
know
mindset.
what? These one last thing. These obstacles that we go through, sometimes we're put through these trials to refine us, to be the
Yes.
people we're called to be, and to be the leaders we're called to be. So don't look at it as something that's getting you to turn around and give up. Use it as a reason to propel you forward and to move you where you're called to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
And when you can have that support system, that mindset, that great attitude, a business can only flourish from there.
That's right.
So thank you for
You're
sharing us
welcome.
your
Thank you.
story. And thank you for watching Zest Zan TV, the show that brings you a dash of passion to the perfect blend of ingredients for success in business and in life. And we'll see you at the next episode of Zef Zan TV. Bye-bye.